This week on the latest episode of Gleipnir, we get one of the most depressing backstories on a group of individuals, and this is the most powerful episode we've seen thus far. Let's talk about this.
化け物に実はね
What is going on, guys? My name is DJ Milez, and I'm here to review another episode of Gleipnir. This is episode 12, titled When the Promise Was Made. And before we begin with this episode review, if you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content down the road. Now let's actually talk about one of the most powerful episodes we've seen in Gleipnir, and arguably maybe the best episode we've seen in Gleipnir, because now that we got the backstory of Elena's group, right, and that Shuichi was a part of, we see more of the backstories from these other people, and you see this unfortunate perpetual cycle of hate and melancholy, and it just comes around into this vicious cycle. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We get some more character introduction from Elena's side. Nato, Aiko, Kaito, and Honoka, which if you remember from last week, she was the chick that made this whole game happen in the first place. And now that we got the full context of what happened, Honoka just wanted to disappear from life because she didn't seem that her life was valuable, where we looked at her friend Aiko, who had a strong sense of justice. I guess her strong sense of justice wasn't too much to keep her sane, because when people would bully her or she would stand up for what she believed in, I guess the peer pressure from her classmates and people just threatening her and making fun of her was too much. So Aiko committed suicide, which is really unfortunate, because now when we go to the guy with the blonde hair, and Kaito, just like all of us, he didn't have enough contextual clues and only really came to his own sense of justice. Honoka had the wish to become like Aiko, so then I guess the original Aiko died, and that pissed me off. So I really want to kill Honoka, when again we now know the real tragic backstory. Now with the full context that Kaito has, he's like, well, wait a minute, so I killed someone unexpectedly, or I killed someone when I really shouldn't have, and now that I got more of this picture, I'm really messed up in the head, and how the hell am I gonna live with myself, right? So of course now that's where he comes up to the alien, gives him the coins, and just says, hey, you can all just disappear, which is really tragic, because when you think about it, why didn't Kaguya and Naoto and Elena just all tell this guy, yeah, listen, Honoka just didn't want to live anymore because her life wasn't as valuable? And it's just really upsetting, especially from Kaguya, because Kaguya has developed into his own character, as you know, this show has continued alongside with Elena, though we never really got in her full backstory, right, on just what's really happened with her. Why didn't these people tell Honoka? They just all get together, right? They have an intervention and they tell Honoka, yes, your life is valuable, and yes, you should live, and yes, you should continue pursuing a sense of justice that Aiko left off. Even if she gave up on her life, that doesn't mean you should disappear from existence. And if anything, I came out of this episode just really hating Elena, Kaguya, and the boyfriend, right? Why didn't they just stick up to Honoka and say your life is valuable? Yes, you should live, because now look what their indirect actions has caused, right? Aiko now killed Honoka, who wanted to become Aiko, right? And again, this whole perpetual cycle now just led to this ultimate destruction of the game that we're in present time right now, right? So it's a truly tragic and messed up thing. And look at that, when you don't really show so much fan service, you can actually get well-developed characters and backstories. Wow, who would have fucking thought? What a crazy concept. I don't know why Gleipnir just couldn't give us more interesting backstories like this, because again, this is definitely, I would say, is my most favorite episode so far, because of just how tragic and strong sense of justice and characterizations we got from a plethora of these characters. So truly upsetting with Honoka, because Kaito was really the only person in the world that apparently cared about Honoka in the first place, which again, man, what happened with this group and why did she feel that way? I don't know if we'll get those answers, and quite honestly, I'm okay if we don't get those answers. And now let's go ahead and talk about Claire going to the Yamada cram school, because she wanted to figure out, okay, was Kaguya, maybe not lying, but there could be some clues if she goes to that school. And this is the point in time where Kaguya called Claire. And I do love that narrative directive style, whenever you see one character off doing one thing and then in real time another character is doing something else. Of course, this is where Claire was like, okay, I think Kaguya did something bad. We all know what Kaguya ended up doing, But of course, after that phone call, we see the big revelation that that thing that Kaguya is, that mascot little bear thing, we found that figure plushie right there in the school, which now Claire's like, what the hell? And of course they had to cut it off right there because the episode ends with Elena getting a call from Yoshioka one more time saying, hey, you and I think we should really talk. And that's how the episode ends. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more anime content. My name is DJ Miles, and as I always say, to be continued, take care.